do not believe in spiritual powers. Some form of spiritual powers arresting our natural resources or making us poor. That is unfounded. We don't believe in that. All we believe in is that we have consistently put in power leaders who are colonized, leaders who have rendered themselves to be puppets, who should be used by foreigners, because they go there to solicit for money, for campaigns. So when they come into power, they are not going to save Zambians' interests. We need leadership that puts Zambia's interests first. That is the biggest problem that we have. When you consider the wealth that we have in this country, such as natural resources, minerals, you can name them, land, it's because for a long time we have allowed colonizers to come into this country, brainwash us, tell us that all these mineral resources, we cannot use them, only them can use those mineral resources. And we have allowed ourselves to undergo a colonized education system, to be brainwashed, so that we are given a colonial education that makes us believe that only foreigners can handle our natural resources. We should just be waiting for them to do things. This is why leadership movement, we are in these politics. We want to re-educate the Zambian people to have a different mindset. How can you explain a situation where you can dig sewage, right? And these sewage right people, the Zambian people, are digging with picks and shovels for a foreigner who has given them a little money. Then that foreigner gets that sewage right and is selling it worth millions of dollars. And you have a government that says, oh, it is illegal to mine. We have arrested this sewage right, and they are not even moving in to put ZNS run mine there, to dig that sewage right and sell and make those millions of dollars. That is how we want to operate. We want government to participate in mining under ZNS. Because when we do that, instead of the president going to Scotland to go and look for $1 million, and yet sewage right is at some police post worth $18 million, it doesn't make sense. We need to make use of our natural resources. We produce these minerals, sell to other countries at a profit, and gain forex. That is how we should operate. When it comes to land, we have consistently given land to foreigners because we are running on a colonial mindset that believes that anything foreign is better. A colonial mentality that believes that only foreigners can develop Mother Zambia. Therefore, you have all these politicians going abroad asking for foreign investors to come and own your natural resources here, to come and own your land. Evacuate thousands of households who have been there, living there, with their forefathers' graves there. You chase them that they are squatters in their own country, and yet they are Zambians. And you respect a foreigner so that he can come and make use of our natural resources and make billions out of it and leave you poorer than he found you. We need to take charge of our natural resources. We need to take charge of our land. We need Zambians to own land with title deeds. That is true empowerment. So that a farmer knows that that land is on title. He can walk into a bank and access money and invest on that land. We want Zambians to participate in mining. If you have a piece of land and you have title deeds, you are supposed to be able to take charge of your minerals. If there is manganese there, you dig that manganese. And we want, under the leadership movement, to have a mineral reserve agency. There is no such a country in the world, apart from a country like Zambia, that can have copper that is possessed by foreigners, and we are selling millions of metric tons, and yet the country doesn't have even 1 kg in its reserves. You can't even have 1 kg of copper. You have sewage right. You can't even have 1 kg of sewage right in your national reserves. You have manganese, you have cobalt, you have gold, and yet you can't even have 1 gram of that natural resource, of that mineral, in your mineral reserve agency. And you have a government that goes out there empty-handed, begging, kneeling down, asking for help. This is the kind of poverty of the mind that has visited us, and it is not supernatural. It is just brainwashing. We just need to re-educate ourselves and see things the way they are. There is nothing wrong about Zambia that can not be corrected by what is right with Zambia. We need just leaders who see things the way others see them. No country in this world has surrendered its natural resources and expect development. When we look at Saudi Arabia today, its oil fields are run by the state. They have not given up. They have not said foreign investors come and get our oil. So United Arab Emirates, it is where it is today. This is why everyone wants to go to Dubai, because their oil is safeguarded by its indigenous government. The government takes care of oil export, and they make money out of it. You have copper, you have gold, you have manganese, and you have given everything to foreigners, and you are waiting for a miracle, and you are busy worshiping in church day and night, fasting, expecting changes. That can never work until you move in and say enough is enough. It's time to own our natural resources. Let's make use of them, and with these natural resources, we earn forex as a country, and we'll be good to go. This is why, at this moment, we as leadership movement, we are so saddened. We can't even celebrate African Freedom Day when our natural resources are in the hands of foreigners. When land is slowly but sure going to foreign hands with title deeds. And yet Zambians who have been there, they don't even have title deeds. And you say, oh, African Freedom Day, we are independent. There's no independence there until we realize that the only true independence is when we get hold of our natural resources, we get hold of our copper, our manganese, our gold. We have gold in Kasenseri district. Up to today, we are waiting for some foreign investors to dig our gold. We have gold at Kasisi. Only the Chinese are getting the gold there. The villagers just near the mountain there in Kasisi, they are not allowed to pick even one piece of gold because they don't have a license. When they pick that gold, they will be arrested and jailed for 25 years because they are illegal miners. What type of policies are these? These are policies that keep Zambia where it is, under siege, and allow foreigners, wherever they find natural resources, you are there giving them licenses that they are foreign investors. That is colonialism, and we are not yet out of this colonialism until we start giving our people true education that tells them that whatever we have is ours, and we have to go for it and make use of it and benefit from it. Not this colonial education where you have policies that stops miners from mining your own copper. When they are Zambians, you say they are illegal miners. You need to have a license to mine. What form of license? Why don't you have a license for you to grow some maize in your backyard? When in the same backyard you have gold, you have to pick gold and you have to be jailed because you don't have a license. It doesn't make sense. When you have such policies,